Hey, this is Justin Valletta from Moy'noq. You're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
A 1, 2, 3, 4. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me. Black metal from the Carolinas, right?
Yes, sir. Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, kind of these days, we're both Raleigh, North Carolina. Some of us are in Raleigh, North Carolina, and some are in Asheville, North Carolina, in the mountains.
Oh, okay, cool. I need help pronouncing that name so I don't butcher it.
Yeah, we say it phonetically. It's just Moy'noq.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to be stupid.
Yeah, we've heard everything from, people inserting random, like, we had one guy say Mo Yoink, so that's become kind of like an inside joke in our band.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's really good, actually. No, I wouldn't have embarrassed myself that bad. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for taking the time. Let's start here. For those not familiar with you guys, because I was one of them, that's why I like doing the show, right? I come across all kinds of stuff. Can you give us the 2-sentence boardroom elevator pitch?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're an American black metal band from Raleigh, North Carolina. We try to approach the. I mean, I don't know. We try to approach like our writing style very collaboratively. It's like most of the time, if not all of the time, it's four of us in the same room,
Right.
Writing. So it's kind of the material kind of filters through four separate lenses, and whatever comes out at the end. There's at least consensus on what's being expressed.
Okay.
Yeah, the 30-second elevator pitch. This is always so hard from like the inside to like
Right.
maybe like
Black metal from North Carolina. How about
black metal from North Carolina. We I don't know if there's anything like necessarily southern about it. People have described us as feral. But definitely American. I think it's pretty modern and pretty American.
All right.
Sound.
So I've got about 5 semi in-depth ones, and then we can, if you have a sense of humor, we play around at the end. That does really well with video shorts. So
Yeah,
does that work?
Yeah.
So we'll start seriously first. Moy'noq, I got it right. Moy'noq's music is described as having a uniquely humid atmosphere, which is, I think, a very stark contrast to the frozen landscapes with the Scandinavian black metal, right? How might the oppressive heat and the dense air of the American South shape the emotional and sonic palette of your music?
Oh, great question, Bruce. Yeah, so it's hard to say because it's almost unintentional, growing up down here. I mean, yeah, it's June. It was 94 degrees yesterday. I mean, it's
Right.
just it's hot as fuck all the time.
Right, and it's humid as hell. I'm in Richmond, so I'm not far from you. And
Cool.
Yeah, hot as hell, humid as fuck.
Yeah, man, we'll be up there before too long. I'll let you know when we're coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think really just I mean, oftentimes we're writing in a room that's extremely hot, but most of our music deals with like personal introspection. We're big fans of like the DSDM genre as well. In addition to, we kind of listen to everything. My favorite band is Kiss, but
Right.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I think that it's just you travel around the country. You're playing in also different sorts of venues, places, houses,
Right.
whatever. And then when you return home, you actually kind of get a perspective on where you come from through traveling around, and whether it's a result of the climate outside, or it's really just the kind of things that you're into. When you grow up in the South, you're exposed to, or at least like there's like a cultural element that exists within like the musical landscape that's just around you. Right? There's a ton of bluegrass and folk and like just like just American bands that I think that the especially the Southeast kind of has like a little bit more of a musical identity than a lot of the rest of the country in terms of its history and everything else. I don't know that that's necessarily reflected a ton in our music, but it's certainly part of our like inspirational ecosystem.
What is so I mean, obviously black metal, when people think of it, they're thinking of corpse paint and a bath and all that other stuff, but there's a pretty good um American black metal scene, right? I know
Definitely.
Goat Whore from and
Louisiana.
originally Soylent Green, and then Acid Bath, and you guys
Yeah.
Oculum Day down in where were they, South Carolina?
Yeah, I think so. You're right. Yeah.
So I mean, there's a pretty significant presence of American black metal. Why do you think it's not as, I don't know. I don't want to say popular because I don't know that any of it's popular, but not as recognizable as Norwegian black metal or something.
Yeah. And in certain instances, I think it may be depending on who we're actually talking about.
Right.
But I think first of all, those places have a much more defined kind of cultural identity, or at least like a much more homogenized cultural identity with each other. The on the American side of things, like just the names, the bands that you just named are vastly different from one another. Whereas, if you take like especially like second wave bands, there's a lot of overlap in the presentation of what the band looks like. Whereas, especially in modern American black metal, where for example, like Knock Mystium or Weakling or any of like the bands that are really kind of like pioneering the American sound, so to speak, in like the mid 2000s or early 2010s. Um, they're just very very different from each other. The country is huge, and even from state to state, things can vary significantly from culture
Makes
to
sense.
laws,
Yeah.
upbringing to whatever. Um, so I think that certainly plays a role, but I also don't think that any of the bands from the U.S. necessarily have broken out or pioneered in the same way that like a Scandinavian black metal band
Like
did.
an Emperor or something, right?
Yeah, right. Same thing with like the levels of controversy, right? There's not really been
Like church burnings or any of the bullshit, right?
and not that I'm necessarily like, hey, go burn down your local church or anything, but well, I mean, but it's
Right.
yeah, make your own decisions, But yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. Is like the popularity that a lot of those second wave bands got was off of rebellious teenagers learning about the controversial actions that
Right. The other band I was thinking of is Panopticon, right? Aren't they from somewhere Midwest?
yeah, Austin's originally I think from Kentucky, but then he lives in Minnesota nowadays. Yeah, we're fairly close to it. Well, I mean, I haven't talked to him in a while, but
Isles of Wrath, is that another one?
ooh, I don't know. I don't know who they are.
I think that's
Uh,
Appalachian black metal sort of.
yeah, well, we're all for it. We just dropped a split with a band called Urocyon, and yeah, they're from Asheville, like generationally
Right.
from
What's been the response to it so far?
Great, really, really good. I think this is the most important um, release that I've been a part of thus far in my like musical career. I play drums in the band, so I can't really speak for everyone, but this is it's been I've learned the most from this release. It's been the most I don't know how you want to actually how I can describe this. Like in terms of the expression itself, I think it's the most comprehensive and exciting thing that I've been a part of. Anybody that I'm close with that has listened to it not that they necessarily have said shitty things in the past, but
Right.
they really enjoyed it, man. And it's only 2 songs. So the way that this split came about was, we reformed in 2016. In
Right.
2023, we went on a big tour, like not like um incredibly long, but
Right.
it was just under a month. And during that
Excellent.
tour, we lost one of our guys. Touring's hard. I mean, I don't know if you've been in bands and stuff, but touring's hard.
Right.
It's arduous. This one in particular, like our van broke down. We had to rent. We got pulled over a couple times. The brakes went out. We got stranded in North Dakota. Uh, no money. Like it sucked,
Right.
right?
Spinal Tap.
Yeah, the tour itself was great. The shows were great. But it's hard. So in 2023, we started in 2016. 2023 comes around. One of our guys has to step down just to keep his sanity, or what little sanity he had in the first place. Okay, so we get a new guy, Dave Kaminsky from Asheville. And really, the name of the game when he came on board was, hey, dude, learn the material because we have show obligations that we need to be prepared for. We're playing Mass Destruction Fest down in Atlanta with some awesome bands, and so we really wanted to be prepared for that. After we got through 2023, we reassessed the situation. All right, now we have 3 guys in Raleigh, 1 guy in Asheville, and how do we go forward with the project? How do we collaborate with each other? How do we write? How do we continue to, keep this train going? And we've been talking to the Urocyon guys forever. Like I've been in previous black metal bands, and they have as well. Their previous band named Shadow the Destroyer. We've been engaged with them for so long, talking about someday we should do a split, whatever.
Right.
And this seemed like the perfect opportunity to, hey, let's learn how we can actually do this. How we can actually collaborate remotely. We can put something out relatively fast because it's only a couple songs, and we can really kind of get our legs underneath us with a new ego in the band, a new approach to writing, a new kind of everything. And the result is the best thing that we've ever done. So it's really awesome on that front. We learned a ton, and everything that we've been kind of experiencing through the pandemic, as well as through the tour, and the separation of our guy Logan, just getting kind of all that shit out into the world was really healing for us in a lot of ways too.
Ready for another deep one?
Yeah.
The band's name, taken from the desolate rusting port in Uzbekistan, right, evokes themes of decay and abandonment. In what ways do you think Moy'noq's music and lyrics mirror that environment and the existential desolation represented by the namesake?
Awesome. Yeah. So it's kind of a multifaceted answer. A lot of our stuff, really the vast majority, I'm trying to think of an example of where it's not, is taking something that's like a reflection of the outside world, internalizing it, and turning around and trying to relate some internal pain, suffering, whatever it is, whatever it is that you're either going through or whatever, and just trying to relate that to something in the outside world. So when we were kind of coming up with the name, we were trying to figure out, like, a lot of us have gone through either really rough childhood or intense substance addiction, or like whatever. Aside from the fact, then that's just on like the micro level. Aside from the fact that the world seems to be kind of getting worse every day, and humanity is kind of accelerating the demise of the planet. And
yeah, I don't think it's 2 minutes to midnight anymore. I think it's way closer. It's like 30 seconds.
And, we're not like eco warriors or anything. It's just more about like, we're trying to understand the world around us, and we're trying to be understood ourselves.
Is there a
So,
message or a takeaway you want your fans to?
um, get it out. I think most DSBM bands would probably push people that listen to them, or like kind of like do like suicidal glorification kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're necessarily a DSBM band in that regard. We more, we just feel that kind of swath of emotions fairly regularly. But it's get it out. I mean, the healthiest way for us to deal with the things that we feel is to do exactly what we're doing and get it out, because otherwise,
Is there an intense catharsis to it all?
yeah, especially playing live,
Yeah.
definitely. We probably wouldn't be here if we didn't have this outlet.
So one more deep one, because you just brought it up. Moy'noq's live performances are described as overwhelming, chaotic, and suffocating, almost like the physical force engulfing the audience. What psychological or cathartic effects might such an immersive, intense musical experience have on the listeners, especially in the live setting?
Yeah. We definitely try to be punishing. It's a very physical performance. We try to leave everything we can, on the stage. I think lighting has a lot to do with the presentation of any live performer. What colors you choose, how often they appear, how late in the set they appear. Is it just white, whatever? That's something that we actually discuss fairly often, is how to tune the performance really kind of specific to either that show, that festival, whatever it is. Aside from that, I think that traditionally in black metal, you brought it up earlier with like corpse paint and spikes and this and that. We've put a lot of work into and really a lot of energy into our what we refer to as our sigil and our emblem, which is representative of North Carolina in a lot of ways. It's a upside down triangle. It has jawbones from a boar. It has pine trees. It has the mountains, the sun. It like represents North Carolina in a lot of ways. But aside from that, that's one of the only things that is on stage that's an actual like visual element. We don't wear band shirts. We don't want to just look like, hey, it's just a couple metalheads just walked onto the stage and whatever.
Right. I get that.
We want to kind of not have anything distract from what we do bring up with us. It's something that we put a lot of thought into, for sure.
I saw a band not just recently, maybe a couple of years ago now, that I think they're from America too. Is Uada from here?
Yeah, they're from I want to say Portland.
Because they do something very similar. I mean, all black face masks, and the lighting is really tuned in. And
right, yeah, we performed with them a couple times last year in Baltimore and in Raleigh.
Nice.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. They're trying to kind of carve their own path. They're doing a lot of stuff with like the moon and stuff. Yeah, it's cool. They're cool. They're nice guys. Especially their drummer. Me and him kind of broke down for a while at the show.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
All right, so two more.
Right, you're exactly right. That's a good observation. They're very in tune with like their presentation. Aside from here's just a record,
And I'm thinking of, I can't remember the name of them. There's a European black Diera.
Yeah.
Another very similar sort of thing. I know they're not American, but that's taking a step back and nothing fancy, masks or whatever, and lighting.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's necessarily uncommon. It's just like that is a very big deal to us, for sure.
All right, so two more easy ones. What's next for you guys? You hitting the road or anything coming up?
We are. Well, kind of. So we have several shows coming up. They're mostly like friendly shows. I throw a fest, or I haven't in a couple of years, just because it's incredibly expensive. But yeah, we're playing with Woe, who is an awesome WOE, awesome band from New York, and Obsidian Tongue. They're playing Richmond today, Bruce. You should go. At
Really?
Cobra. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're playing today. They're fucking awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, Woe from New York, Obsidian Tongue from Maine. They're playing Richmond today. We're playing with them in Raleigh tomorrow on Tuesday the 10th, and that's like in the immediate. Yeah, that's the immediate short term we have coming up. But we're also in writing mode. So I was telling you earlier in the podcast, hey man, like we just want to get this stuff out. We got a new guy. We wanted to learn how to write together. We wanted to do all that. We're definitely in writing mode right now. We're gonna be hopefully getting a full length out in kind of like the first few months of 2026.
So a regular EP or larger
full
something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Like our third album will be coming out. So we're definitely doing that. We're doing quite a bit locally. So we're playing with a band named Garbage People next month, who's from Richmond. I don't know if you know John Rice, the drummer of, well, he filled in for Behemoth. He's on tour with In Flames right now.
No, I don't.
Plays drums in Uncle Ass and the Deadbeats. Richmond there's no bad bands from Richmond. There's so many killers that live there. But yeah, so it's like, TJ and Mike from Inner Arma. It's like a Garbage People's just like a Richmond supergroup. Brett Bamberger's playing bass. He was in like Revocation and River Black and a bunch of other bands. So we're playing with them in July, and then we're playing with this Raleigh kind of like folk black metal whatever band named Aether Realm in July.
Oh yeah.
So we're
They've
playing
been on the show a few times.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so we're doing a bunch of shows with our buddies, and they're all local. But what it does is when we're prepping for the show, it keeps our Asheville guy coming to Raleigh. So he's coming. We're writing. Hey, we'll play through the set. Everybody knows the set. We rehearse at home or practice at home, and then we rehearse together. If there's anything we need to work out, we work it out. But other than that, we've just been intensely writing. We're playing with Ghost Bath in November, but that's another like just Raleigh show. We're not doing too much travel in 25. We really just want to get this full length out and start like the next chapter of the project.
I get that. And if fans want to find you guys, can you give us all your socials and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean we're everywhere.
Just
Bandcamp, Ampwall, Instagram. Yeah. MOYN as in Nancy OQ.
Thank you so much. I really dig the what I've heard so far.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to go back and dig into previous stuff because I just learned about you all prepping for this thing. So
oh, awesome. Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's and I think the adjectives that you're kind of throwing around with like humidity and like feral or ferocious, kind of suffocating, oppressive kind of stuff. I think you'll discover some of that for sure.
Awesome.
In those releases.
Right on, my friend. Have a good day. Hey, thank you for taking the time. Be well. Cheers.
Hey everyone, this is Bjorn from Soulwork, and this is Brutally Delicious.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hey there, heavy metal maniacs and kitchen crusaders. I'm Bruce Moore, the host of the Brutally Delicious Podcast, where we whisk up a blend of metal and food to quench even the most discriminate tastes. Have you ever wondered what your favorite metal musician chows down on before they hit the stage to melt your face off? Well, look no further. Here at the Brutally Delicious Podcast, we have cooking segments so brutal they'll make your oven want to headbang. From beefy, bodacious burgers, to spicy, succulent salmon, to kickin' caliente cauliflower, and more. We mix metal and culinary creations, resulting in a feast for the senses.
But wait, there's more.
Hey, this is Michael Monroe. Brutally Delicious. Isn't that beautiful? See you down the road.
Each week, I meet with the mammoths of metal, for interviews that are spicier than a Carolina Reaper. Get the latest on their upcoming shows, behind-the-scenes stories, and if we're lucky enough, maybe they'll share a secret family recipe or two with us. You'll also want to check out our weekly album and show reviews, where we dice, slice, and serve up our unique takes on the latest metal releases. So grab your leather apron, crank to volume 211, and subscribe to the Brutally Delicious podcast on your favorite podcast platform. It's sure to be a hell of a time.
Oh, hey there. It's Tim from Protest the Hero. Now that you've seen my junk, I'm going to show you how to make a pizza. And you're watching Brutally Delicious.
What's up, everybody? Max Cavalera, Soulfly, and you listen to Brutally Delicious podcast. Stay metal, motherfuckers.